Hi, if you enjoyed taking photos with your smartphone, but you're not really satisfied with some of the images that are coming out, especially shooting indoors, whether you're taking pictures of friends and family, or even doing a selfie of yourself, this might be the video for you. Today, we're talking about Fuji's latest compact premium camera, the Fujifilm X70. Keep watching. Hi, I'm Billy of the Fuji Guys, and today we're going to take a first look at Fuji's latest premium compact camera, the Fujifilm X70. It's very much designed as Fuji's award-winning X100T. In fact, it utilizes the same sensor and same processor. It utilizes an APS-C X-Trans CMOS 2 sensor and EXR processor 2, which gives outstanding image quality, especially when you shoot indoors in low light situations. In fact, it's going to give you as good as quality as most of the DSLRs out in the marketplace that uses an APS-C size sensor. Now, of course, this premium design looks very much like an X100T, and the only major difference, of course, is that on the back of this camera, you have a nice LCD screen, but there's no electronic viewfinder or viewfinder in general. So you're mainly using the LCD to actually compose and take your photo, similar to how you would with your smartphone. The X70 comes in two different colors. You got this two-tone silver and black. You also have an all-black finish, which looks very sleek and very stylish. Both of these camera designs very mimic the X DNA that's found on the award-winning Fuji cameras like the X100T. Now, of course, when it comes to design and controls, you got these external controls that are very reminiscent of, old-style Fuji film cameras. You got shutter speed dials, aperture dials, even dials for your exposure compensation to under and overcompensate in the scene, which makes it very simple if you want to shoot in aperture priority. Now, the X70 utilizes Fuji's 16 megapixel X-Trans CMOS 2 sensor and EXR processor 2. This is the same processor and sensor that's found on Fuji's award-winning X100T, so the image quality is really good. You're able to shoot at very high ISO and get very clean pictures. Now, of course, the quality of this camera will be pretty much identical to that of the Fuji X100T because of the usage. And again, if you're looking for a step up from your smartphone or even just a compact camera that you've owned, this might be a camera you should be looking at. Similar to your smartphone, the X70 utilizes a fixed 18.5mm f2.8 lens, allowing the camera to be very compact while utilizing this very large APS-C size sensor that's found on the majority of DSLRs. So again, you can get some incredible image quality with the design of this camera. Now, the lens itself is very compact and gives you a field of view of about 28mm when we're talking about 35mm equivalencies. That focal length, of course, is going to be perfect for taking pictures everywhere you go, just like your smartphone. So it's a perfect alternative if you want to get some much better photos, especially in low light, by utilizing that large APS-C size sensor and the very fast f2.8 lens. You can isolate the subjects very easily, making maybe your selfie shots one of the best professional looking selfies you've ever taken with a camera. The X70's control is very similar to that of the Fujifilm X100T. You have your shutter speed dials on top, and your aperture ring in the front allows you to control exposure. Setting both the shutter speed dial to A and the aperture value to A allows the camera to shoot in an automatic mode where the camera controls both the exposure for the camera. Taking the aperture or shutter speeds off A allow you to shoot in either aperture priority or shutter speed priority. And of course, if you have both of those dials off A, you're basically shooting in full manual controls. Now, the great thing about this camera being a mirrorless camera, of course, is that when you change the shutter speeds or the aperture, it's reflected on the back of the LCD screen, so you know exactly what the exposure is going to be like before you even take that shot. So shooting full manual is going to be a lot easier than that of your DSLR if you're looking at downsizing to something like this. Now, of course, you got your exposure compensation dial on the top. You got your manual focus ring in the front when you want to shoot, of course, manual, and you want to manually focus instead of using the unique the intelligent hybrid autofocus system on the camera. Of course, the manual focus ring can also be configured so that instead of just doing manual focus, you can adjust things like ISO, white balance. There's also even a feature where you can actually shoot in what's called a digital teleconverter and shoot in basically 35 or 50mm equivalencies. giving you full resolution, using Fuji's, of course, unique, super intelligent digital zoom technology, again, giving you full resolution. Now, there's a drive mode on the top of the camera that allows you to set the camera to the single shot mode, the high-speed shooting mode that allows you to shoot up to 8 frames a second. Of course, there's also things like bracketing, panoramic modes, and other features accessed through the drive button on top of the camera. There's also 8 function buttons found on this camera, allowing you to really customize the controls, including a new function button that's found on the side of this camera. What sets the X70 apart from the X100T, of course, is that it doesn't have a viewfinder, but it does have an incredible touch LCD that can be tilted 180 degrees, allowing you to basically take pictures in low angles, high angles, and of course even that famous selfie shots. Of course, now using a large sensor with a fast aperture, you can get some really nice shallow depth of field shooting with this camera, especially when it comes to selfies. Of course, the touch-enabled LCD allows you to change the focus points quickly around the scene and traditionally take the picture using the shutter speed dial. It also allows you to do things like touch shooting so that when you tap on the scene, it instantly focuses on that subject that you're pointing at and takes a picture right away, making it very simple, especially if you're very comfortable shooting with your smartphone. Now, in playback mode, you can use the touch controls to swipe between images. You can pinch zoom to zoom in and zoom out, and of course use your fingers to kind of pan around the shot to see the scene itself. Double tapping on the LCD, of course, will allow you to zoom in, zoom out quickly at 100% to review your images to ensure that they're nice and sharp and in focus. The X70's autofocus system is extremely fast, similar to that of the X-T10 and X-T1. It utilizes the intelligent hybrid autofocus system that uses both contrast and phase detection to quickly and accurately obtain focus on your subject. Now, the camera offers 49 different autofocus points, which you can control using your finger and touch controls, or the traditional way on the Fuji cameras using the directional pads. In addition to that, you got the zone focusing just like the X-T10 and X-T1 that allow you to quickly focus on a particular zone, and it's really useful for non-static subjects that either move a lot within the scene, allowing you to again achieve that perfect in-focus shot. Now, in combination with the continuous autofocus as well as the high-speed continuous shooting mode of 8 frames a second, you can utilize that feature to quickly track a subject within the scene and quickly take multiple shots and to ensure that they're in focus, as the camera will track that subject coming towards you or away from you or even moving around the scene, which makes it very useful for shooting sports action shots. Now, of course, if you enjoy manual focusing with the camera, again, the camera does have a manual focus ring in the front that quickly allows you to adjust the focus. It also even has focusing aids like focus peaking that isolate the area of highest contrast with a unique color, or even use Fuji's unique digital split image technology in order to help you manually focus on that subject. The X70 has tons of features, including the built-in Wi-Fi that allows you to use Fuji's camera remote app, both available for iOS or Android, that allows you to quickly connect to the camera and remotely control it from your device. You can control things like shutter speeds, aperture, ISO, even change the film simulation modes that are available on this camera and release the shutter. Now, the great thing about the app is that it gives you a live view so that whatever settings you change on your app, it's reflective in that live view so that you know exactly the shot you're going to take even before you take it on the app. Now, of course, you can use the Wi-Fi to transfer images from the camera to the phone, but the camera will also directly connect to Fuji's Instax Share printer to quickly make an Instax Share print, okay? Now, the X70 has loads of other features, like a panoramic mode that allows you to stitch just like your smartphone would. You have advanced filter features that allow you to do some really cool effects. Toy camera. There's even a partial color that isolates the scene with one color and makes everything else monochrome, really useful to get some really artistic shots, especially in the pumpkin field when you want to isolate just the oranges and have the pumpkins show up by themselves. Of course, you also got some bracketing features similar to that of the X100T. You got HD video, allowing you to control both shutter speeds, aperture, ISO. So it really makes it a good all-around camera to have. There's even an interval timer shooter function that allows you to take time-lapse photos, and quickly later on you can create time-lapse video on the computer, of course using using any software that you like. Now, the camera itself overall is a great filming camera, and with tons of features, you can be quite happy with one of these guys. If you're looking to accessorize the X70, there's several different accessories that are available for this camera. You have an optical viewfinder that you can attach to the hot shoe that gives you 21 and 28 millimeter framing lines. There's also a wide converter lens for this camera that offers 21 millimeter field of view. Also, there's a lens hood and a beautiful leather half case that comes with a nice leather hand strap. Perfect to carry around the camera without, of course, damaging it and protecting it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at Fuji Guys. I hope to see you soon. Until then, I'm Billy of the Fuji Guys.